The real cost of living in Arizona in the East Valley. Everybody wants to know what it actually costs to live in the East Valley for sure. Not the brochure version, guys, the real numbers that show up on your bank statement every single month. We're gonna go into income tax, property tax, HOAs, electric bill in the middle of the summer, irrigation, and your insurance. Every single one of these add up, and the most of these videos out there give you half the picture. Some make it sound like Arizona is typically free to live in, and others make the summer utilities sound like you're gonna go bankrupt. Neither one is the honest answer, and today I'm going to give you the real one, point by point, backed by real numbers. Guys, I'm Kim Williamson, your only 8-time WPRA world champion in Arizona, selling real estate for the past 24 years, and I have the experience helping people make this exact decision with real numbers, not guesswork. I'm with Williamson Real Estate, and if you're serious about considering the move to the East Valley, this is exactly the strategic conversation I have with my clients every single day. So just give me a buzz at 480-206-1500 or visit ArizonaHorsePropertyForSale.com. And now let's get into the real numbers. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real cost of living in the East Valley of Arizona, both sides, and honestly with you. I'm going to cover your income tax. We're going to talk about property tax, the HOAs, whys, do's, and don'ts, utilities, irrigation, land value, and your insurance. The full financial picture, not just the highlighted reel. Okay, so we're going to start with point number one, and that's Arizona income tax. It's a genuine financial advantage for sure. We've talked about this in the past. Arizona runs a flat 2.5% state income tax, one of the lowest in the country among states that tax income at all. Compare that to states like California, where top rates run into the double digits, and the math starts to position Arizona as a strategic move, not just a lifestyle one. If you're relocating as a retiree, this even gets stronger for sure. Social Security income is completely exempt from Arizona state tax. And for a lot of my clients, that single fact protects your equity every single time over the long run. All right. Point number two, property taxes here are proven an advantage as well. This is one that surprises most people. Effective property tax rates across Maricopa and Pinal County run well under half the national average. That's kind of cool. On horse property, this is where you often carry more land and more square footage than you do a standard subdivision, okay? And that gap protects you, bottom line, every single year, not just at the closing table. All right, point number three, no HOA. This is a norm in most of my market, and that's the real money that goes right back into your pocket. Across Queen Creek, Santan, Apache Junction, Mesa, and large parts of Gilbert and Chandler, which is true horse property with no HOA, is genuinely common. That is not just freedom for you to use your land the way you want. HOA fee is typically Arizona's community can run anywhere from modest mid-monthly charges into hundreds of dollars. But the right property here, that bottom line just simply does not exist. Now, I wanted to be straight with you on the details because precision matters. This isn't absolutely across the lot size. Some of the smaller parcels, your 1 acre, your 1 1/4 acre lots, in particularly, do occasionally fall inside of an HOA, especially closer to newer subdivisions. It's not the norm, but it does happen periodically, which is exactly why I walk every single client through the specific HOA statutes of that property before we ever even write an offer. That's not the details that you'll discover after closing. We don't want to find that later. All right, point number four, utilities are where I owe you the honest answer for sure, not the easy one. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, guys. Arizona summers show up on your electric bill. Statewide, the average resident runs their rates at about 15 cents per kilowatt per hour. In a typical year-round average bill lands you somewhere between $150 to $220 a month. But come June through September, this is a whole different story. Larger homes run their AC unit around the clock and can see their bills climb from $200, $300, even $500 plus, depending on the situation, on the peak hour months, especially with SRP demand charges structures during your peak afternoon hours. I'd rather you walk into it being prepared with that number than blindsided in August. Here's a strategic piece most people don't even know though. SRP offers a one-time use program splitting the day into off-peak and on-peak hours. Use this wisely, and this program can actually help average out your monthly bill. So instead of getting hit with sharp highs in July and August and lows in January and February, your cost evens out across the year. A real budgeting advantage, and one worth asking SRP about directly when you set up services. Now, let's talk about irrigation, because this is a detail most nobody explains to you clearly. If you're on a property with flood irrigation or canal irrigation, you are not paying a flat statewide rate. Each irrigation community charges by the hour of the water delivered. And that hourly cost depends on the area and the specific district that you are in. On top of the hourly charge, many districts also carry a monthly or annual fee, layered on top of the usage cost. So full price isn't just what does the water cost, it's what does the water cost plus what does it cost to belong to that district. The upside is real. Properties with flood irrigation can meaningfully reduce outdoor watering costs for sure, compared to drip and city watering on landscaping, and because the water is delivered on a scheduled agricultural based rather than a metered city rate. But exact numbers is always properly specific of that particular lot. I'll pull the real current irrigation figures for any property you're considering during the due diligence period for sure. I'd rather hand you an actual number than guess, because who wants that? If you're weighing the real trade-off of this move, that's exactly the kind of strategic conversation I have with my clients every single day. Guys, I'm Kim Williamson with Williamson Real Estate. Call me anytime at 480-206-1500 or visit my website at ArizonaHorsePropertyForSale.com. All right, let's go into number 5. Your land costs go significantly further here. If you're relocating from the coastal market, California, Pacific Northwest, or even the East Coast, anywhere land has tightly constraints on it, the acreage math in the East Valley of Arizona is going to genuinely surprise you. The same budget that buys a quarter-acre lot in a lot that positions you with 1, 2, or 3, sometimes 3 acres with horse privileges out here, that's not a sales pitch. That's simply what the acreage costs here compared to those acreage costs in constrained coastal markets. I know it kind of gets confusing, but it's the truth. All right, point number 6. We're going to talk about Arizona because it deserves a real conversation as well, especially on acreage. Insuring horse property isn't the same as insuring a standard subdivision home, by no means. And this is a point I want to be specific about because the details genuinely change the premiums. We're talking about square footage that matters, obviously, because it does not cover everything other than just the house. We're talking about the outbuildings, we're talking about barns, we're talking about the arenas, and any other structures on the property all factor in. So, do the features of the people always mention the insurance agent, talking about automatic gates, the arena lights, your well, your septic systems, and any other improvements on the land? The honest truth is that this number varies significantly property to property based on the location. The amount and the type of structures, total square footage, under roof, even your garages need to be in consideration. There's no single flat number I can give you on camera, and I have to be accurate with a specific situation. And I'd rather tell you this honestly than to throw out a figure that does not hold up, because I want to be honest with you. What I do every single day with every single client is walk you through that full list during the due diligence period, of course, not after. So you're budgeting accordingly with the real premiums and not surprising quotes 3 days after you close escrow. All right, guys, bottom line, the real cost of living in the East Valley of the Metroplex of Arizona comes down to this: a genuine income tax, property tax advantages, often no HOAs, the land that goes significantly further than most relocating buyers expect, weighing honestly against Arizona-specific costs like summer utilities, irrigation, acreage insurance. It all takes a big factor. Either side of these equates tells the whole story by itself. The buyers who win here are the ones who go through it with the real numbers, not the highlighted reel, you guys. And that's exactly the strategic that I bring every single time to every one of my clients. Guys, I'm Kim Williamson, again, your only 8-time WPRA World Champion in Arizona real estate For the past 24 years experience helping people make a confident, well-informed decision about horse property and lifestyle, real estate across the East Valley, I'm here for you. I'm with Williamson Real Estate, and if you want the honest strategic breakdown of these numbers on your own situation, just again, call me direct, 480-206-1500. Again, cruise around on my website, Arizona Horse Property for Sale. And if this is straight talk content useful for you, subscribe to my channel and I'll put out the real fact checks. Information like the regular, and I'd rather you hear it from somebody who actually closes deals than from a brochure. Also, I would love your feedback and questions for sure. And always remember, do what you love what you do. I'm here for you. She's gonna whip me with this tail.